Alright, now, what do I want to do? I don't know. I know what I want to do. Hey Nick, I want to get this chain out of here for a few minutes. Probably don't belong, but for now. Actually belongs under here, so I want to lift this up because I want to get to that deck for a minute. I want to see something. See something. This? Probably not. I'll kill my back. As the wife says, I'm a glutton for punishment. I am. Okay. Now what I need to do, I had the weed whacker running yesterday. I did. And come on, a little bit more. Okay. It's kind of close to the edge. We'll see what happens. I got that up high enough, but now what I want to do is block it. Okay. Actually, I can just probably put something under the bucket here. You never want to trust hydraulics. If a line blows and you're under it. I think I told you guys about that that worker. I used to have a body shop, as I told you before. And it was in the Quality Plumbing's property. They had the plumbing store was up front. It was a small store, and then in the back they had probably 8 bays that were big enough to put a trailer with a tractor and everything in it, you know. So we're talking 45-50 foot trailer, so we're talking close to 100 foot long, maybe more, by probably 40 feet wide. And they rented them, and I knew Freddie, so I said, yeah, okay. So anyway, I rented one, and that's when we opened the body shop. Well, the building was like here going that way, and then it kind of jotted down there. And this was a driveway that went around the back of the building. And that was a wide driveway too, by the way, because of all the heavy equipment they used to bring in the back. So they had the big, backhoe, and you know, all big stuff. So they were bringing the backhoe in on a flatbed with another flatbed behind it with a couple of those. Oh shit, what do they call them now? Those big supports that if they dig a hole, they put the support in it so it doesn't collapse on the worker in the hole. You know, so they're probably 8 feet. Some of them are 4 feet, depending on what they're doing. So there was a half a dozen of them on there, and they're using the backhoe to take them off. Well, one of the shorter ones was about 5 feet or so. The chain was coming undone from the box, so to speak, and the backhoe was over it, and the guy that's trying to straighten out the chain is indicating to the operator of the backhoe to bring it down a little bit, and he's bringing it down. Now, again, you see how this one jerks every now and then? They do. Well, what happened was the guy that decided he wanted to work on the chain on the box, the enclosure thing, decided to hang over it, so his belly is over the edge, and he's got his hand up, and he, instead of putting up, you know, in other words up, he went, and the guy thought he meant down, and he went to bring it down, and the blade or the backhoe jerked, dropped down, hit the guy on the back. Now you got to remember, he's laying over the side of this thing, so his waist, his stomach, hits the guy in the back, flips him into the what you call it. The guy's not coming out, you know. So immediately the backhoe lifts up the backhoe and grabs onto it on one side of the chain and was able to just tip it over. In other words, screw this thing, we got to get this guy out of there. So when they got it out, the guy is just laying there. They dragged him off the flatbed trailer to the side of the building, and this is where naturally the commotion is starting. You know, and they're yelling, you know, call an ambulance, do this, do that. You know, call 911, blah, 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 blah. And I'm hearing all the commotion out there, because when I heard the backhoe, boom, I kind of figured, oh, I've got to go out there to see what happened. I go out there and I see the guy laying up against the building, kind of in a sitting position. I go up to him, and he was dead. His eyes are black as coal. You know, there's no movement, there's nothing, no pulse, no nothing. So they say that it takes like 3 or 4 minutes before your brain actually dies. So you kind of, well, not so much see, but you kind of hear and know what's going around for those few minutes. So during that time, I just kind of sat there next to the guy. I kneeled next to the guy, and I'm talking to him as if, you know, he was still alive, telling him that the help is on the way, you're going to be okay, you know, your family's been notified, don't worry about it, you know, and just talk to him until the ambulance got there. They got there, they pick him up, they throw him on the gurney, and then they put him in the ambulance. And then they stayed there for about 10 minutes. One of the reasons, excuse me, my throat, one of the reasons was they were going to try to survive, you know, to bring him back, revive him, but at that point, you know, it was beyond that. And then, you know, they wanted to make it look like they're doing something in there to bring him back, you know. So if anybody, his fellow workers or the owner of the company or anybody happens to be right next to the ambulance, which you couldn't even see the ambulance with all the people around it, you know, at least it looks like they're working on him. And then the police naturally showed, and then naturally the investigating team, and then OSHA naturally, and then when all those showed, it didn't take long at all for them to get there. They were there within 10 minutes. So the ambulance is just about getting ready to leave, and they're all pulling in, and now the ambulance can basically go. I don't know if it was something with New Haven to where, you know, the ambulance couldn't leave until somebody got there to identify the body, or what, you know. But naturally they pronounced them dead. But yeah, so when I'm talking about this stuff, you know, with the hydraulics and things, you know, don't take chances, really. You know, even if you have it on a jack, You know, put something under it so it's not gonna cave in on you. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to put under there because I need it as high as it is. Yes, I do. So I got to find something. I may just get a log. Now, hold on a minute. Let me turn you off for a minute. I don't need you running while I go over there and get a log.